Everyone loves the idea of running a label until they see the receipts. From the outside, it looks like control, owning masters, discovering talent, signing the next superstar. But behind the highlight reels and viral moments is a harsh reality, one filled with risk, complexity, and financial pressure. Because running a label isn't just about music, it's about infrastructure, management, marketing, distribution, legal, and above all, cash flow. Love what you're watching. QR's on screen, scan it, and join the community. Don't miss what's coming next. Let's start with the basics. A music label is, at its core, a business. It's built to find, develop, and monetize talent. But talent isn't the hard part. The hard part is time, discipline, capital, patience, and paperwork. Lots of it. Contrary to what many think, the biggest cost of running a label isn't paying the artist. It's everything else. Studio time, producers, mixing, mastering, video shoots, digital ads, playlist pitching, PR retainers, merch runs, influencer campaigns, tour support, legal fees, content creation. And this is just for one project, one artist. Add a few more artists to the roster, and suddenly, you're not just running a label. You're running a high-stakes startup with recurring overhead and thin margins. And here's the kicker. Hits don't equal profit. The illusion is that one big song changes everything. The truth? Most labels are just hoping the hit helps them break even. Let's do the math. Say you're an indie label. You invest $10K to $50K into one project. Between the music, visuals, and promo, that project streams 500,000 times on Spotify. Your return? Around $1,500. That gap doesn't close unless the artist scales, and scaling requires infrastructure. That means people. You need a team, A&R, marketing, operations, community leads, content directors, finance. If you're small, you wear all the hats, but as the label grows, you have to delegate, and delegation isn't free. Salaries, freelancers, consultants, retainer fees, it adds up fast. Now, let's talk deals. Indie labels often operate on 50-50 or 70-30 splits in favor of the artist. But no matter the split, the label fronts the money. If the project fails, the label eats the loss. If it wins, the label still waits months to see returns, because in music, money moves slow. Streaming payouts are delayed. Merch orders take time. Tours get postponed. Viral moments don't pay the bills right away, and in the meantime, overhead keeps climbing. Failure is a built-in cost. Most artists signed won't be profitable. Labels know that. They make projections assuming a few will break even, a few will lose money, and maybe, just maybe, one or two will become profitable enough to carry the rest. Even then, success depends on consistency, branding, content output, and a little bit of luck. Now layer in distribution. Uploading music is easy, but distribution done right is a strategy. Metadata has to be clean. Rollouts have to be timed. Pre-save campaigns need to be run. If you want real exposure, you need DSP relationships, editorial pitching, analytics tools, press kits, and visual storytelling. That's another layer of cost, labor, and expertise. Then comes content. Non-stop content. In today's music landscape, every artist is a media brand. That means every label has to function like a content studio. Who's filming the BTS? Who's editing the TikToks? Who's building the YouTube funnel? Who's running the content calendar? You're not just putting out music. You're telling stories. Daily. Touring? That's another beast entirely. Booking agents. Travel logistics. Accommodation, per diems, road crew, insurance, advance payments. Even small tours can bleed your budget if they're not meticulously planned, and many labels simply can't afford the risk. And we haven't even touched on legal. Every split, every sample, every sync, every co-writer, all of it needs legal oversight. Lawyers are expensive. Mistakes are even more expensive. The legal side of music is dense, and without proper counsel, labels risk everything from lawsuits to loss of rights. So why run a label at all? Because when it works brilliantly. A successful artist can create recurring revenue across multiple streams: music, merch, publishing, sync, touring, brand deals. A label that owns equity in that ecosystem benefits long after the hype fades. It's not about a single hit, it's about catalog, ownership, longevity, residual income, strategic positioning. But most labels aren't structured to last. They're built on passion, not planning. They're reactive, not proactive. They move on vibes, not data. That leads to burnout, broken relationships, missed opportunities, and wasted money. This is where the model is shifting. A new wave of labels is flipping the script. They aren't just signing artists. They're building ecosystems. They're acting like startups. Building in-house content studios, tracking fan behavior with CRMs, launching private listening clubs, using Discord, Telegram, SMS drops, sharing ownership with artists, offering transparency through dashboards and data access. These labels don't treat fans as numbers. They treat them as community. They don't build around moments. They build around relationships. And that's how loyalty is formed and monetized. Structure matters. Today's successful labels run with defined roles. Someone runs operations. Someone manages the budget. Someone owns the content rollout. Someone tracks analytics. Everyone is accountable. Because labels aren't just curating playlists anymore. They're monetizing moments. They're building IP. They're stacking income streams, merch, syncs, licensing, education, fan clubs, even NFTs. This is the new label model: lean, agile, community first, data smart, built on systems, not superstardom. But it's not easy. Founder fatigue is real. What starts as passion often turns into pressure. Budget stress, creative burnout, admin overload. That's why the smartest labels today are putting boundaries in place, saying no, protecting energy, and building sustainable systems. So what happens when a label gets it right? They build a catalog that compounds. They attract brand partnerships. They build trust in the industry and among fans. They scale with intention, not desperation. And they don't wait for validation. They build their own lanes. This isn't theory. It's happening in real time across Lagos, Accra, Nairobi, Medellin, Jakarta. Teams are launching from WhatsApp groups and co-working spaces. They're skipping the traditional gatekeepers, owning their content, and thinking global from day one. The shift is cultural. Every time an artist chooses equity over exposure, every time a label says no to a predatory deal, every time a team builds slow instead of chasing fast, the playbook gets rewritten. And as we look ahead, the most important question might not be, who's getting signed? It's, who's building systems that survive? In the next chapter, we'll explore that evolution in full, because the labels of tomorrow won't just run like businesses. They'll operate like platforms. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and scan to join the community.